Before we continue with this video, guys, look, man, I have some good information to share with you. Regarding the Carioca Championship, I think it's good because it's the youngsters who are going to play. So there's nothing wrong with starting earlier. The news is good. Fergie rescheduled the match between Flamengo and Portuguesa for January 11th. It's to resolve the issue of dates, the schedule, and everything else. It's messy with the Carioca, Brasileirão, Super Cup, and Recopa all together. It's crazy, right? So, Flamengo will debut earlier after the Brazilian Football Confederation officially sets the date for the Super Copa do Brasil. Fergie moved up the match against Portuguesa, which was scheduled for January 31st, and now it will be played on the 11th. I trust the kids, so man, these Flamengo youngsters, world champions, two-time Libertadores champions, two-time world champions in a row, right? Man, fantastic. You need to trust these experienced youngsters with the kids, and they'll play in the Carioca Championship. But then I see some fans commenting, oh man, but that's bad, because the main team was already going to play this round. On the 31st against Portuguesa, it was already supposed to be the main team. But the truth is that I trust the youngsters, and I think it's important to have time to train the main team. You gain time there as well. The Supercopa final against Corinthians is an important match. The Supercopa do Brasil is at stake, a national title and a fourth championship for Flamengo. Flamengo, which is the team with the most Supercopa titles, is also the one with the most Supercopa appearances. It's the second team with the most Copa do Brasil titles, counting only the Brasileirão, even though it started in the 1970s. Flamengo is the biggest champion in Brazil. It's the biggest Libertadores champion here in Brazil, so it's the biggest champion in Rio de Janeiro. Flamengo is the biggest champion of everything, so it's important for them to keep rising. Look, the game that was on the 31st has been moved to the 11th. It's scheduled for 8:30 post-meridium. The location hasn't been decided yet. Maracanã is being maintained and should be ready for the state championship's third round on January 21st. The Luso Brasileiro Stadium, the Portuguesa Stadium, is in the final phase of its expansion works. The debut Flamengo was scheduled for the 14th against Bangu at 9:30 post-meridium. Next, Flamengo faces Volta Redonda, Vasco, and Fluminense, and the club starts the Carioca Championship with an alternative team. It's a matter of the location. Flamengo will negotiate possibly Volta Redonda. Let's see what happens. This is important information we've brought here. We were the first to bring it. The information about Matias was that River Plate and Besiktas from Turkey were interested in him. We had this information a little while ago. Raiza reported this week that River had made more progress than Besiktas in wanting to sign Matias. And Raiza brought this information that he had chosen to stay in South America. He wanted to stay at Flamengo. He can't. He prefers to stay in South America. At River Plate, what happens is that River Plate wants a loan deal. Flamengo wanted a permanent sale. River Plate wanted a loan with an option to buy. Flamengo, to release him on a one-year loan, wanted it to be with an obligation to buy. I preferred to release him with a high option to buy, because with a high option to buy, you could still use the player. In 2027, you loan him out. He does well there. You bring him back in 2027 because they wouldn't pay the high amount that Flamengo would set in the buy option. But you're not going to put a buy obligation around $6 million. And then River might end up making that purchase based on goals or even as an option, which I'm sure they'll want because he's one of the best players in America. He just needs more playing time. But for me, Vinha is the best left back currently playing in South American football. He's ahead of Everton. Lucas may fall behind Alexandre, but Alexandre could be retiring soon. I'm not sure what will happen at year's end. The contract lasts until then. I said that. Flamengo should loan him out with a high purchase option. Sorry, a high one to lower the chance of River buying him, but that's it. They're trying to negotiate setting a fixed value in the purchase obligation based on goals and goals that are easy to achieve. In the end, Flamengo won't bring Matias Vinha back anymore. They could have brought him in 2027, like I said, and solved the situation. That's right. We're always keeping you updated here. Who brought this last one? It's almost official. Just a few details left. Vinha to River Plate. Cesar Luis Melo, also a journalist, reports on the transfer market. And look, before we play the clip from our main channel here, I want to remind you that today on PIX do Milhão, which is your benefits club where you can exchange points for products and experiences, there's a huge promotion Today specifically, it's really worth it. It's the best day. You have a better chance to win a bunch of points and products. It's amazing. Go to PIX do Milhão now. Just scan the QR code on the screen during the video with your phone. There, you can access it right now and secure your points for the PIX do Milhão Benefits Club. Winning a prize today is tough but possible. You are buying points from a benefits club, which also gives you the right to participate in instant prizes from R1000 up to R1000. Scratch and win. The prize goes straight to your account. And today, R dollar, 2 million on January 2nd, R dollar, 2 million exclusive prize today in the million picks. Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome. This is the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you're just arriving, please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe below. Turn on notifications by clicking the bell and leave that awesome like on the video. We're here thanks to the million picks, man. In just a bit, it's your last chance this week at the start of the year to make sure you get in, man. It's a benefits club that you join. Then you buy points in the benefits club, exchange them for products, experiences, and you also get to take part in promotions and prizes. Today, you could win up to R1000 instantly by scratching and winning in your account, or even R million. Man, you have the chance to win R2 million, an insane prize today, insane picks, a million. So take advantage. I'll leave the QR code there on the screen for you. Look, we have a lot of information to bring to you guys, man. Important information, right? We're going to bring it. Matias was very close to being announced at River. Twist, turn, remove the jacket, then put it back on. Alan in São Paulo again. We're also bringing information here about the Carioca Championship, right? The Carioca Championship, which will have an early debut, man. A lot of things happening, and we're bringing everything to you. We're also talking about the transfer market. Flamengo is considering a new name for the goal. A new goalkeeper is being evaluated. Flamengo will have to look for options in goal because Santos is asking for a lot of money. Flamengo will have to look for another name. In attack, I'm putting all my chips on Marcos Leonardo. For me, he's the name that's being negotiated quietly, in secret. That talk from the board that came out too, that he doesn't have the profile Flamengo is looking for in an attacker, unlike Caio Jorge. For me, that's just a story. For me, that's just a smokescreen. For me, Flamengo is after Marcos Leonardo. I believe, even though they say they're not, because man, for me, it doesn't make any sense. It's the best possible style for Flamengo. He has a bit of Pedro, he has a bit of pressure, he has a bit of quality, man, he has everything. Marcos Leonardo is young. To me, the name for Flamengo's attack is Marcos Leonardo. Nothing will change my mind, okay? Including the information that comes in. Angelo Furtado just talked to me from the channel. Angelo Furtado said, hey, Papa, the information I got is that it's him. The name Flamengo is negotiating with, and a reliable source says it's Marcos Leonardo they're negotiating with. They're trying to throw people off, but it's Marcos Leonardo. In fact, they're going to accept selling the player for 25 million euros. That's the information. 25 million euros for Marcos Leonardo. So Al Hilal then, guys, why not? Why not? Why? Is it really that bad? For me, I see him with a lot of quality to play in Europe. I think that he, in my opinion, is ahead. Including Caio Jorge, pay 50 million for 230 million for Caio Jorge and 25 for Marcos Leonardo. Man, I didn't believe that talk. I'll be honest with you. I could be very wrong. Flamengo reportedly wants Marcos Leonardo. Flamengo's management says no. We have to bring both sides. Flamengo's management always says no. For me, the name being negotiated is Marcos Leonardo. Nothing can change my mind, okay? What do you think? To me, he's Flamengo's best choice. Flamengo received an offer from Grêmio for Everton Araújo, but Jose Boto chose not to negotiate the player. Okay? Felipe Luis plans to give the youngster more playing time in 2026. The club values the defensive midfielder's performances with the sacred mantle and sees no need to find a replacement. So, if Everton Araújo doesn't leave, Flamengo won't look for another player unless an opportunity comes up. So, with Alan leaving, Marcos Antonio comes in. Okay, I'll talk to you about this Alan situation. To sum up, Flamengo will keep Everton Araújo and make it very difficult for him to join another Brazilian club. A possible deal would only be considered in the case of a very high offer from abroad. This information was initially brought here and also by Raiza. Now I'm going to say the following. Marcos Antonio will only join if Alan moves to São Paulo. Then Flamengo will try to sign Marcos Antonio, okay? And it's important for us to bring this up here in this situation about the midfielder, about the issue of Alan going to São Paulo, because there were journalists saying that Alan's staff didn't want him to go to São Paulo because of financial issues, because of a financial crisis and all that they didn't want him to go to São Paulo. Then, now and then, I trust Andre Hernandez's information. He's been right a lot, including about the Caio Jorge deal. Andre Hernandez was the one who brought it up, right? What is it that São Paulo is looking at? Gaston Avila will not go to São Paulo. Everything's settled. He's no longer going to São Paulo. With the refusal, Gaston Avila won't go to São Paulo. São Paulo sped up the signing of Alan, a midfielder from Flamengo. São Paulo sped up the signing of Alan. With that, Alan's staff is rushing the deal, and Alan has, according to Andre Hernandez, Alan is interested. It's a twist in the transfer market, contrary to what was reported in the press. Alan and the staff are interested in going to São Paulo, and there is no financial crisis. They want to go to São Paulo, and São Paulo wants Alan. São Paulo is negotiating with Flamengo to sign Alan, possibly on loan with an obligation or option to buy. Then Flamengo steps in, aiming to sign Marcos Antonio to replace Alan, after São Paulo just bought Marcos Antonio. And then Flamengo could buy back Marcos Antonio from São Paulo. São Paulo would make a profit on the deal and would still keep Alan, and for Flamengo it would be great because they would pay much less than they would to Lazio. So that's the important information. We're also going to bring you information about Saúl's surgery. According to journalist Raiza Simplicio, I'll talk about Saúl's situation, Matias, Vinha, Carioca, and everything else. According to journalist Raiza Simplicio, Coach Felipe Luis and sporting director Jose Boto are closely observing the Brazilian goalkeeper Andrew from Gil Vicente. Both of them met at the stadium right now to watch. They were there just a short while ago. I don't think it's over yet, but they were at the stadium just now. Just now to watch the match against Sporting, which also features Luis Suarez on the team. So Jose Boto was closely observing the Brazilian goalkeeper Andrew from Gil Vicente in the match against Sporting. That's exclusive information from Raiza Simplicio, okay? Andrew, look. A signing coming from Portugal, okay? Jose, I'm telling you, went after the player, all right? He went after the player. He went to watch the player at the game. This information is important regarding Saúl Ñíguez. Flamengo announced this afternoon that midfielder Saúl will undergo a surgical procedure in Spain. The athlete will undergo a minimally invasive surgery on his left heel next week. Saúl had been reporting pain and discomfort in the area for about 3 months. Since the condition began, Flamengo's medical team has monitored him continuously. The decision for the procedure was made after a thorough medical evaluation carried out together with the club's professionals, focused on optimal recovery and safe player returns. Dr. Nick Van Dijk will perform the surgery. With a name like that, he must be a star, right? Everything will be fine. Just remember that it will take about 3 to 4 months to recover. Flamengo can't sell or negotiate midfielders, so they're keeping Everton, Araújo, okay? That's why Marcos Antonio might join if Alan leaves. They'll need him. So it's Nick van Dijk, a world reference in the field. The exact date of the procedure will be set and announced after the final consultation with the Dutch doctor. Good luck, right? So the surgery will take place in Spain. We wish all the luck in the world to the great Saul, our midfielder. Here's some more news. I was recording elsewhere and you'll see it here. Updates on Matias, Vinha and the Carioca Championship, which we've covered for some time.